across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
From his end zone, here's Trent Taylor. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
But the Bengals had the remarkable run to the Super Bowl last year, but one team that gave them trouble were these New York Jets. You might remember back in Week 8, it was the Jets rallying behind backup Mike White, who threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, and a 34-31 New York victory over the Bengals.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
He's got a man. Complete. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. George Kittle, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Bengals need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This defense for the Bengals very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver? And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt.
Back deep, Trent Taylor. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. There'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On play action, Lance. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Wilson. Buying time to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright. And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
And they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Off of play action, here's Lance. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On 3rd and long, it's Lance. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's got it down to the 28.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. Got it open. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Bengals grab it. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10 to about the 33-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped it. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll give it to Mixon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
Knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Ready. Let's go.
On first down, Lance. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now a play fake. Lance. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen to fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Ready, set.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Lance. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. McPherson's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. For the defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Come on, set.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On the ready.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Now Wilson on second down. He'll air this one deep for Anderson. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He will find his man Chase complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive. And these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Nice, 97. Real green. Ready.
Throwing now is Lance. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's got to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had it for a second, but you're right, not to be. Lance now on 3rd and goal. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. To return is Taylor. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now Wilson on first down. Dancing to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Showing off the quick feet that time and getting forward for a pickup of 3 yards. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Matt Judon able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It was Jamal Adams up from his safety spot to make the play behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 12, Lance. Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
80 weapon. 80 weapon.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 40. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to look deep for Moore. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Elijah Moore, 40 yards. And the Jets get a bit closer. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Taylor now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
Well, this certainly feels like complimentary football to me, partner, because the momentum from the team's touchdown drive looks like it's made its way over to the defense. They're working together in tandem now. Offense gets in the end zone. Defense with a big sack on the first play of the following drive.
Now Lance's throw caught here by Taylor. He's got room past the 30. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. The catch and run good for 24 yards. They're still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jamar Chase, 65 yards. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A throw to the flat for Carter. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
On second down, Wilson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Sam Hubbard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I get the backups in there if it were me.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Here we go. Here we go. Flag blue.
Throwing on 1st down is Lance. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Ready.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Ready.
From the gun, it's Lance. This one hauled in by Sample. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there's an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Mixing up the middle. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. And Lance going to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know, if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Wilson. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And this is caught. He hits more. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. 18 of them. Now it's Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, he's going to air one out for Anderson. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Okay, right, right.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Bengals 58, Jets 21. Evan McPherson to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
Well, we all know this quarterback had to spend plenty of time studying prior to the game, but he has to be tired of seeing these guys, especially him. Third time now he's brought his quarterback down. Whole defense has had a great game, but 3 sacks, not hard to find who one of the leaders of that effort was.
Ready.
One last shot for Wilson. Try to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Jets come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Cincinnati, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh.